Okay, as promised, welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. This is my Pay Per Clicks Rant. I will be doing a podcast all about how many quotes you can expect depending on the size of a competition and the size of the town or city and population, etc. But still getting the data in from that at the minute, and trying to do a lot of work. So I want to get the information I get out there. I want to be as accurate as possible for you guys. And the problem is that it doesn't matter how accurate I believe it is. It's only a very, very small sample size, so it could be different in different parts of the country depending on competition, etc. So yeah, I'm just trying my very, very best to get that data to you, and it's going to be accurate for me. So whether it's accurate for you, who knows? Proof will be in the pudding. The more sites I get, the more data I'll get. So the more dialed in I'll be, the more accurate that data will be. Okay, so I want a rant about pay-per-clicks advertising. I speak to many storage owners, and one thing that they say is that they cannot believe the cost it's just shooting up for pay-per-clicks. And my argument is, are you bananas? Are you crazy? Every single person listening to this right now, if you have a self-storage facility and you aren't spending 80% of your advertising budget on pay-per-clicks, then I think you are grossly underestimating the power of pay-per-clicks advertising. There's an intent. Firstly, let's understand this. YouTube. It's the biggest section, second biggest sections in the world, but it's all about how to. You search YouTube for how to. When you want something, when you've got an intent, you go to Google. And I do not subscribe to these people who say that Facebook marketing, by the way, I love Facebook marketing. I love social media marketing. I think it is amazing for certain products. It's a branding, if we do it on self-storage, it's a branding exercise. The likes of Big Yellow and Safe Store, the big boys, Shoreguard, don't upset them, then yes, absolutely spend a ton of money on Facebook advertising, Instagram, whatever it may be, depending on whoever your demographic is. If it's an older demographic, then it's Facebook. If it's younger demographic, then it's TikTok and Instagram. You've got to be aware who you're marketing to. You can't just, if you're looking for 20-year-olds, then don't market on Facebook. Obviously, market for the demographic that you are trying to attract. So yes, Facebook marketing is only good for branding and Instagram. Well, let's just stick to Facebook, because Facebook, majority of us should be, if you're doing social media marketing, it should be on Facebook because of the demographic that Facebook have. I did a big demographic podcast once before and went through a demographic. So who's on what social network? So let's say Facebook. If you are, the only way that you social media market for self-storage is for branding. It's a branding exercise. It's like Coca-Cola. When they do your branding, they're hoping that they're basically hoping Coca-Cola, everybody who advertises on majority of people who advertise on television, they're hoping like Coca-Cola, Mars bars, Snickers, whatever, that you'll go into a shop and you will all of a sudden, your subconscious will remind you of Coca-Cola, like great taste or what, I don't know, whatever it is at the minute. Nike, just do it. It's all about branding. And so therefore when you go into a sports shop or convenience shop, then you will remember the branding, you will remember the advertising, and you will pick up a Diet Coke, a Nike, whatever it is. You will pick up that because of a branding, because they've done a good job marketing to branding. Companies who are marketing for branding have to be juggernauts, have to be gorillas, Goliaths. They have to be massive, because they can, it's very, very hard to get an accurate return on investment, but they're not, they don't really, it's very, very hard. And when I listen to all these marketing podcasts and stuff, yes, people want to know return on investment, but with branding exercises, you're clearly going, your goal isn't to get an ROI. It's to get your branding out there. It's to get your message out there. Us with self-storage, we can't afford to do that. I can't afford to do a branding exercise. My competition in Beverly, they was massive on social media in Beverly in terms of Facebook advertisements. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, I shouldn't really say it because to listen to this podcast, you shouldn't be spending your money on Facebook ads. You should be spending your money on Google, but you're not spending a penny on Google. And I want you to continue doing that because it's better for me. Because there has to be, that's a branding exercise. If you haven't got millions of pounds to do on marketing, then you shouldn't be doing branding. It should be your last thing that you do, trying to do a branding exercise. One self-storage facility should not be doing branding exercises, because that's what it is. And whoever is your marketing company telling you to do that, drop them like a stone, because I go to these networking events and I talk to these marketing experts who have marketing agencies, and I cannot believe the amount of people don't understand the very, very basics about marketing. And the only reason that I feel that I'm I can talk about it even slightly is because I love marketing. I love sales. I spend a lot of time listening to all these marketing podcasts, marketing books, and I love them. I really enjoy listening to them. But I go and talk to these people and I say, oh, do you know such and such America? Do you know the big ones, the ones that everybody should know? And they haven't even heard of them. So how can they even know what's working and not working if they don't follow what's happening in the industry from the big Goliaths, the people like Gary Vee? They are all the different agencies out there that have podcasts and talk about it. And anyway, that's by the by. But yes, you shouldn't be doing social media marketing if you haven't got millions and millions of pounds, because that is not intent. So when we need self-storage, let's get back to the basics. When we need self-storage, what do? You search in Google. If you need self-storage, you wouldn't go on Facebook. You would go in Google and you would search in self-storage Hull, units in Hull, whatever it may be. I've got 4 key terms that we smash out, we go against, we go for. And I don't understand why people, I mean, I spend not 100%, because I spend like a couple of thousands of pounds a year on advertising my kids' football teams and stuff, but that's not branding. That's, well, I suppose it is officially branding, but it's just to help the kids' team. So you've got to spend majority of your money on intent-based. Where do people go when they have an intent? They go to Google, don't go to Facebook, don't go to Instagram. And yes, they may have seen your Facebook advertisement, but do you know what? With self-storage, your company will not be so well known that they'll say, oh yeah, Stormore, they'll click on that. It just won't happen. It doesn't matter how much branding you will do, they will not do that because they don't recognize a self-storage facility. Even Big Yellow, even according to the data, Big Yellow and Safe Store, people don't recognize a Big Yellow or a Safe Store. I mean, they're getting more and more now because of the big prominent locations that they're getting. So that's also a branding exercise, having big locations. It serves 2 purposes there. And so, yes, people are seeing that a little bit more now. But in terms of little towns and cities, for the independent, we should be spending all our money on pay-per-clicks, right? It's an intent, that's where it goes. Right, so can I just tell you about last month? So last month, pay-per-clicks for me, let's get it up here, and then I'll try to get it up for other months as well. So we spent £3,546. That was a cost to acquire a customer. That was on Google, by the way. The cost to acquire a customer on Google was £126. The cost per square foot moved in was £1.17 from Google. So £126, that was the cost to acquire a customer. Our lifetime value of a customer it's over £1,000 at Beverly. It's increasing all the time because it's not a fully mature site yet at Stormore, but it will be over £1,000. So let's just say £1,000. So that means you are getting 126 divided by 1,000, or 126 divided by 1,000. I've done it again the wrong way. 1,000 divided by 126. Oh, I've done it the wrong way again. Right. So you're getting it's basically nearly 8 times return. 8 times return is absolutely incredible. 7.9% is absolutely phenomenal. I know from my past mastermind in digital marketing, when I was talking to everybody regarding how much and what they go for, what's their holy grail. Like I'm in so many courses because I used to sell courses, and if you used to get 3 times your money, then people would say, go all in on that one. Whatever it is, wherever if it's Facebook marketing, if it's whatever, people were aiming for 3 times. In self-storage right now, we're getting 8 times. I'm getting 8 times. Even if you're only getting 5 times, that is unheard of. And it is absolutely bizarre and unfathomable for me that anybody else is questioning and even having the audacity to put money anywhere else. You show me a better return. Please, anybody, show me a better return on any form of marketing, on ad spend, anywhere. You can't get it. You cannot get it on social media. I will guarantee it. You cannot. I can't guarantee it, can I? But I will nearly guarantee it. I will nearly guarantee it. I mean, hell, what a statement that is. I just cannot see that anybody, anywhere is getting a better return than that. 8 times. You're putting £100 in, you're getting £800 back. You're getting 8 times your money back. It is bizarre. It is bonkers. And yes, I know I'm talking lifetime value, so we're not getting that money all back up at once. So yes, we do need cash flow. That's why that I do understand why some people have, because if you're putting £100 in to get a customer and you're only getting £90 back or £80 or £70 for the first month, then you've got a cash flow deficit, haven't you? So I understand that why people would cap the amount of money they spend on ad spends. But my advice is to spend as much as you literally can. We did another podcast on this before, how much you should spend and what percentage of your square footage of your building you should be spending. But ultimately, yes, that's correct. But ultimately, if you can afford it, you should be not capping it, because why would you ever want to cap it? No, thank you, Mr. Google. I don't want to give you an extra £80 to get an extra, £800 back. Not quite, £100 in to get £800 back. I don't want to do that this month. I've already done it too much. No, it doesn't work. So yes, you're going to be in a very fortunate position where the cash flow allows, but why wouldn't you? And I just wanted to underline this because so many people don't do it. And for me, it's one of the best forms of marketing that I have ever come across on ad spend. If you're getting an 8 times return on your money, then it is just bonkers. And so yes, it is getting more competitive. Yes, the pay-per-clicks cost is rising all the time, and it will do because the space is becoming more competitive. But right now, I promise you'll look back in 5 years' time and think, oh, bloody hell, I'm only getting 3 times return on my ad spend. And do you remember the time 5 years ago when we used to get 8 times return? Why didn't we go all in? Why didn't we just put more money in Google Ads? This is one of the reasons why I believe that we've got a competitive advantage over most people, because most people will not be looking at ad spend as an investment. They'll be looking at it as a cost. And so therefore, when I come into a market, I'm like, right, brilliant. How much are these guys spending? And obviously, we can't tell exactly how much people are spending, but we can tell roughly because of the times of the day that they're advertising and stuff. And so if their budget's running out, and so if we're searching at 11 o'clock at night, we know the budget's run out. And yes, I know you can set parameters and times when you think that your ideal customer will be online. I get it. But overall, we can tell how much you're spending if you've got a cap. If you've got a cap, then I can come into your market and I can outspend you. And I'm willing to outspend you because I know my numbers. So you need to know your numbers. First and foremost, you need to know your numbers. But if you're not taking this opportunity right now, honestly, it is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity in self-storage. And I'm not saying that you're going to get 8 times return on your investment everywhere, because you just won't. You won't. You might get more, you might get less, depending on the competitiveness of certain areas. I don't know what London is. I don't know what Birmingham is. All I can tell you right now is what Hull is, because Hull is the only one that we spend. We don't spend any money in Beverley on advertising, because why would we? We're number one already, and my competition do not advertise on Google. So I don't need to. I'm number one already. If we needed to, and we're 90% full as well consistently. So we don't need to spend money on that. So the only one we know at the minute is Hull. However, we are changing that, because when we go to South Shields, mind you, we're the only one in South Shields, although somebody else is opening in South Shields. So maybe we might have to spend, but we'll have more and more data. As this time goes on, we'll have more and more data, and we will therefore be documenting more and more. The more data, the bigger the sample size, and the more accurate it is. But right now, all I can tell you, in Hull, you just got to keep plowing money in, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to put more money in? Because the more money you put in, the more you get out for 8 times rate. It's incredible to me that more and more people don't do this. If you know your numbers, please hit me up. I would love to know what you guys do. Get in touch with me through LinkedIn, Dean Booty. I would love to know your numbers. And obviously, it'll be kept between me and you. But the more information I get from other people, the more I can utilize it and know if this is an outlier in Hull. I don't think it is, because we're taking on a big boy. Most people won't be taking on big boys. Most of the self-storage industry will not be taking on big Armadillo or Big Yellow, so therefore, or Safe Store. So therefore, most people should get better results, because obviously they've got bit deeper pockets than me. I can't outspend Armadillo. I'm never, ever gonna. So it'll be interesting to see what other people are doing as well. So I reckon in smaller areas, then you'll be getting a better return on investment, because you don't have to compete with the likes of Armadillo, because they've got a big budget. So yeah, I reckon right now is a wonderful time for pay-per-clicks. And you probably, if you're up against a big boy, you probably can get better returns than me. Just thinking about it now, it stands to reason that I'm competing with somebody who's got vastly deeper pockets than me, and we're still getting 8 times return at the minute. So it's incredible. So please, please, please don't miss up on this opportunity for advertising on Google. Everybody talks about where to find a customer, but as you've seen from these figures here, let's have a look. 72% of my quotes came from Google. 73% of my quotes came from Google, and 57%, nearly 58% of my square foot moved in, overall square foot moved in, came from Google. So why on earth would you try to go elsewhere? Yes, I know it's dangerous relying on one place, but when it's so good right now, 8 times your money, whatever you put in, 8 times your money you get back. It's incredible. So we spent last month, I want to spend more. Give me more money to spend on Google, £3,546 times by 8. It means that we're going to get close to 30 grand back. It's incredible. So yeah, we've spent £3,546. We're going to get £28,368 back from that Google ad spend over the lifetime value of a customer. So why wouldn't we want more of that? Anyway, sorry for going on about this, but it's something that I just cannot believe. When I was at the conference, I was talking to people and they were saying they can't believe the cost of advertisement. They was complaining about it. Holy shit, don't complain about 8 times return. Holy shit. Try being in an industry. I've 1.5% return I got on one of my digital products, and I was over the moon because it was profitable. I was like, woohoo! I've got a funnel that works, and it's only 1.5%, and that is a good funnel. Like I said, 3 times is the holy grail. When somebody I'm selling these not Slack channels. We've got consulting.com. Sam Ovens. I'm still in his group, and everybody talks about and that's £6,000 course. That one, everybody talks about their return on investment they get. And nobody in that group is hitting 8 times multiple. And there's deca millionaires in there, and they all sell digital products. And when I say that we get 8 times multiple in self-storage on something that it's not a digital product, they just can't believe it. 8 times. What, you're not going all in? People are complaining about it? I said, yeah, people are still complaining about it. They can't understand why the cost is going up. Listen, I'm going to keep spending, and I hope you. I shouldn't really be telling you all this, because the more you spend, the more cost it'll be for me as well. But do you know what? It's a gift that keeps on giving in self-storage. And yes, Google Pay Per Clicks is my secret weapon. It literally is. And by the way, at the end of this podcast, you will hear a message from Kerry. If anybody does want any self-storage tips on Pay Per Clicks advertising, Kerry is a wizard. She's what's I going to call her? I don't know. A wizard? A witch. She's definitely not a witch. She's absolutely awesome. Yeah. First time I met her, by the way, was at the conference. She's a lovely, lovely person. Absolutely lovely. And so she will help you store box marketing, I think it's called. Anyway, when this message finishes, you will hear a message from Kerry, and she's who I use, and she's who I would recommend as well. All right, guys, girls, thank you very much for listening to my rant for literally 18 minutes about bloody Pay Per Clicks. All right, have a wonderful day. I'll speak to you soon. Ta-ra!